This video is focused on two concepts. One is the two-level pass, and the other is the third man, and they go together. First, the two-level pass. In this situation, the team with the ball is the red team, and the center back has the ball. Most commonly, people see a build-up from the back. If it starts from a defender, then the next stage is to pass it to a midfielder, and then the midfielder turns and passes it to a forward, and then the forward and maybe other forward look to score. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that progression. That's quite natural as you move the ball up the field. However, one issue with that is that each time that the ball gets passed, that player needs to turn on the ball. They need to be able to turn. And depending on the situation, they might not be able to turn. So if this ball goes into the center midfielder, they have the opposing center midfielder on their back and they can't turn. And if they do, then they'll lose the ball. Likewise, if this player has the ball center midfielder and they pass it to a forward, it's very likely that the forward will have the opposing center back right behind them, making it impossible for them to turn. So, in addition to being able to play through the midfield, we look to do something which is called the two-level pass. And each of the levels we have level 1, which is the defensive level. We have level 1, which is the defensive level. We have level 2, which is the midfield level. And the left and right back, if they're farther forward, they are part of this level as well. If they're back, they're part of the first level. And 3, the third level, is with the forwards. We have 3 levels, 1, 2, and 3. And instead of going from 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3, what we try to do, if we can, not every time, but if we can, is try to go straight from level 1 to level 3. Now, I don't mean a high, long ball in the air that's kind of up for grabs, 50-50 ball that's hard to handle. That sort of ball, I say 50-50, but it's usually more like 20-80. Much more than half of the time, the defenders get ahead on it, and our forwards can't do anything with that ball. So I'm not talking about a long pass in the air, I'm actually talking about a really quick ball on the ground, or very slightly above the ground, skimming along the surface into a forward from a defender like the center back. So the center back shouldn't just be looking to play it wide or looking to play it to the midfield. They should be looking longer, and one of the best passes that they can make is this long, straight pass on the ground. Now, we've talked about another video about how forwards, when they see a teammate who can play forward, they should do one of several things. One of those things is dropping. So this forward, seeing that the center back can play forward, should drop, one of them should, drop into the space here. As they drop into that space, the center back should anticipate that. So even if the forward's not quite dropped yet, the center back should expect that forward to drop and can play the ball into this space here, which is where the forward should be. They wait until the forward is dropped, it might be too late. Anyway, so as that pass is made, we have the first level passing to the third level. So, that's all great. That pass, though, is a long pass, and while that pass is being made, even if it's fast pass, it's long, and so that gives the defenders time, if they do end up covering, they can come up behind the forward and stop him from turning. So now we're in the same situation as before. However, there's a difference. And the difference is that while that pass has been in transition, during that time, our team also has time to do stuff. And that's where this last thing comes into play, which is called the third man. So when we talk about passing, we have the first man, which is the passer. We have the second man, who's the person to receive that first pass. And this player is now looking for a third man to quickly pass to. If they hold on to the ball too long, the opposing center back will get the ball from them. So as that ball is coming in, 1, 2, or maybe even 3 teammates need to become the third man, which means the man to receive a quick pass. It can be a quick 1-touch pass, or it can be a 2-touch pass, but usually not 3 or 4 touches. So we're looking for a quick passing combination. First to second to third. And all the positions on the field, with the exception of the center back because they just passed the ball, can become the third man. And in this case, we really have 3 options for the third man. One option is for the forward. The forward should see what they can do to become the third man. They shouldn't be running necessarily in behind here because there's no way for the forward to get that ball to them if they're behind the center back. So instead, they should be timing their run. They should be making a diagonal run into this space here that their teammate has created, but time it so that as that ball is coming in, they're moving with the ball. And as that ball's coming, this forward is not just concentrating on the ball, they're also looking around them to see what the options are. And as that forward's coming in there, that's a quick combination 1-2 into the space here the forward can run onto. So that's one third man option. Another third man option is a safer option, because that's a pretty aggressive pass. Safer option might be for as this ball goes into the forward, that the center midfielder can actually come behind the ball and be a pass back, sort of like a bounce board. So as that ball comes in, the ball gets bounced back to the center mid. And you might say, why are we bringing it back to the second level? Well, now look at where the center midfielder is. Before, if we pass to him, he would have to turn on the ball. Now he can immediately play forward. So as that ball's coming back to him, he can look to play that dangerous through ball to the forward as well. Lastly, the fullbacks during this time, the right or left back, as that ball's coming in, these right and left backs should notice, hey, wait, I could be the third man as well, and they can advance, and then this forward could easily just pop the ball out wide to the right back. So this is an important thing for forwards to remember, because they should be, as they're receiving the ball, they should be looking for that third man, and their teammates should be trying to become that third man. Very often what happens is a ball might come into a forward, they're marked, and everyone kind of stands and watches them and says, okay, what are you going to do with the ball now? But the answer is, as that ball's coming in, this forward is providing a service. They're becoming a wall to protect the ball. They can't play forward, but they're holding up the ball so that one of their teammates can. And then once their teammates can play forward, then we can advance the ball. For this reason, in order to open up that passing channel, our center midfielder should not play directly in front of the center back. If the center midfielder plays here, then the only passing option for this center back going forward is right to the center midfielder. Instead, the center midfielder should look to play diagonally forward to the center back. So if the center back is on this side of the field, then the center midfielder should move diagonally forward. And you might say, well, if they do that, then they're going to go right towards the forward and center, and they're going to be easily covered by the center midfielder, which is true. But what they've done is they've actually taken two of the opposing players out of the equation and opened up this really nice channel to pass into the forward. So center midfielders, you should want to get on the ball, but if you can drag two defenders with you, then you're doing your team a big favor. And forwards, once that center midfielder pulls those central players out of the way, that's when you can drop in and you can become the second man for that pass. And as that ball comes in, all the rest of the players on the team can look to become the third man. So, this has been a video about the two-level pass and the third man.